Okay, let's start with our today's session. Okay, so we'll have a quick recap of a previous session, just around in URL versus site, and then we'll go over on an operator around, and then operator related, and then operator asterisk with the various use cases, and basically how to leverage this operator in an open-ended searches. So coming back to previous session, we had a title on basically um, what's the difference between site and what's the difference between site versus in URL. So what we realized while doing so, basically site operator, whenever we have a specific link defined for individual profiles or jobs or anything, that is where we are using a site. Site is basically we are leveraging an operator site basically to X-ray a particular format of a URL where we know, okay, fine, this is for LinkedIn, it's like linkedin.com/in for the individual profiles. That's where we are saying, okay, fine, now we have a list of profiles, something like this. Okay, everything from the LinkedIn. Similarly, if I say site cv.com, unless there is a website called cv.com existing on the web, I might not get it. But if it is existing, something like site, let's say resume.com. cv.com, it's not existing. Resume.com, it's not existing. Let's say similarly, github.com. So yeah, GitHub definitely is existing, and that's where we got the list of mix of results because it's just catching in title SDEs, SDE, 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 but in GitHub page there is no as such in title. So that's reason it's still trying to understand. But let's say if we remove in title and just give SDE, and then maybe any one technology we can give, because microservices. So now if you see, we have a number of results. So let's say, now in this case, this is the case where we have a list of results, but it's a mix of result. We have individual profiles as well. We have some of the topics around what are the keywords what we're given. Let's say one or two individual profiles first. So these are definitely not an individual profiles. These are basically topics around the keywords what we have given.
Sure, can we say minus topics here to see more of profiles?
No, we'll take another route. Okay, let's go to GitHub only directly. Okay, now in GitHub, what we'll see when we look at the individual URLs of the profiles, something like Suraj Singh, like in LinkedIn, we have linkedin.com/in, or for various sites, we have x.com/profile or x.com/about. But wherein for GitHub use case, we do not have that github.com/, which is defining a folder where individual profiles are going. Rather, it's everything like github.com, it's just immediately a name. Even though if you click on repository, it would be like name !tab equal to repository. So it's not actually taking us, means in GitHub, we do not really have a defined URL for the individual profile. In this use case, what we do, site github.com, and let's say block or report some of the things pinned or block or report or these many contributions. Let's take the contributions part. Site github.com. So whatever is there. Now, a use case of today's session. in an open-ended searches, basically how to leverage these operators in an open-ended searches. So let's say star. Now in this case, we know contributions in last year could be a standard, but this number could change, but this number could vary from 1 to 1000 or 1 to 10,000. In that case, let's say first we'll give just star contributions in last year. Now if we see, we started getting all the individual profiles. Let's add location also. Let's see how the location is defined here. Punjab, let's say Bangalore. $528 profiles. So maybe 1 or 2 profiles from non-Bangalore. That's where it's saying must include. In previous sessions, we mentioned when to use that particular double quotes, not just only for the phrase, but even for single word also. As I mentioned in the previous session, in future sessions, we'll cover some of the use cases, which are very minute use cases, but how do we give the strong commands to the Google? Now, some of the single keywords also, let's say if we want Google must include those things, then we should give it in a double quotes. Now, as soon as we click on must include, now you see this Bangalore, by default, it went in a double quotes. This is my own. Oh my God, I'm coming on top of the first page. That's surprising. Okay, now here you have an SDE-II from Amazon, and then 2 contributions in past 1 year. The reason, because we are just given a star here. We are not given any specific number. Okay, so star is nothing but for Google, it's basically a fill in the blanks. So any word it could replace, any word or number it could replace. So now here for 5 contributions. Here 10 contributions. Here 2 contributions. Here 21 contributions. Now let's say let's take some other use case. Let's go for one of the profile. Okay, block or report.
Shiv, so it is star space contribution, right?
Yes, it's a star space contribution. Site github.com. So what we have done, site github.com is basically for GitHub. After that, what we have done, we have gone to some individual profile and seen that what could be some of the constant term on each and every individual profile. Here in GitHub case, that is 5 contributions in the past year or contribution activity. Let's take contribution activity. So in this case, what we had 5 contributions in last 1 year. So this 5 is open-ended, which could be 1, which could be 2, which could be 100, which could be 1 lakh, which could be 10,000, which could be 5,000, it could be anything. And that's the reason I mentioned, how do we leverage these operators in an open-ended searches? So in that case, what we do, instead of giving the specific number, we just mention star contributions in last 1 year in double quotes. And then normal title, whatever we mentioned in our previous search, and then Java, and then Bangalore again in double quotes, because we are giving a strong command to Google saying that Google, this search should include Bangalore. Bangalore should not be excluded. Though it's a single word, but we are giving in a double quotes because we wanted to make sure that Bangalore is not excluded. Now, the second thing, instead of giving contributions in last 1 year, let's try for, again in double quotes, block or report, which is basically this part. So again, 157 and all are individual profiles. Let's go to some of the last pages. So yeah, these are the last pages. So yeah, again, we have all individual profiles, SDE-II at Walmart, software development teacher 2 at Genesis, SDE at CenturyLink, and again from Bangalore, again from Bangalore. Yeah, so that's how we use basically a star. Here we use a blocker report, but in other case, when we have seen, this is completely open-ended. That number is completely open-ended, which is not a standard. We can also use a combination of blocker report or instead of this 0, which is open-ended, it could be 1 to 100, 1 to 1000, 1 to 5000, 1 to 10,000, whatever. So contributions in last 1 year. So we got an additional result. Now let's say we want a specific range where we want people who has done minimum 100 contributions in past 1 year and maximum 5,000 contribution or 10,000 contributions. So in that case, what we do, just give 100. Let's cover this also. Dot. Dot, just 2 dots, one after other, which is called number range search. As I mentioned, like now we want someone who has done minimum 100 contribution and let's say up to 5,000 contribution in the last year. So now we'll start seeing the contribution part. Let's remove this blocker report part because it will take an OR option here. So 2 from the first page, let's go to 4th page. And these are again, we are specifically targeting titles. So yeah, now here we have 2,174 contributions. Here we have 77 contributions. Here we have 186 contributions. Nothing less than 100 or less than that you'll find. You'll find at least 100 and maximum up to 5,000, whatever the number of contributions we are given, 116. 729. So now let's say we need to identify some profile like this, who has joined in 2013 or who has joined in 2010 to 13 range during those days or 2010 to 14. That means by now they already have 8 years of experience. Someone with 8 years of experience and with still hands-on, these contributions are nothing but they have contributed to some or the other product. We'll cover in detail GitHub sourcing. That time we'll cover what is this contributions and all everything. But just for now, because that's completely a GitHub sourcing session, direct and indirect sourcing on GitHub. We'll completely cover that part separately about what is overview, what is repositories, what is project, what is packages, what is stars. Everything in depth we'll cover on a later sessions. But for now, just on a high level, just for an understanding, these are basically the year when they have joined. We can also go a date when they have joined, but that will be purely a GitHub sourcing session, direct and indirect. But over here, let's say, given this use case, we wanted people who would have joined between 2008 to 2014, and still they are hands-on, means they have at least 100 plus contributions in last 1 year. So in that use case, what we do, again, search 2008 2014. So first search we have given with minimum 500 to 5,000 contributions in past 1 year. So that's where what will happen. We got all the profiles who has at least, I think this is not the part of this one, but let's see, that's a previous one. Okay, we have at least 100 plus contributions and up to 5,000, whatever we have mentioned. Now further fine tuning it, where we're trying to identify some profiles like this who would have joined between 2008 and up to 2014. And that's where what we have done, we went ahead and added again number in search 2008 to 2014. Let's search. So 4 profiles from Bangalore matching those titles and with minimum 100 contributions and up to 5,000 contributions. These are, we can assume these are 8 plus years because they have joined GitHub between 2008 to 2014. There might be a use case, recent use case. It is recent people who are graduating in a year and are in a year, 3rd year, 4th year of their BTech. They are also signing up. But previously it wasn't like that. Once they start working, that time they were signing up. But now if you see, this person has joined 2014 and has 600 contributions in last 1 year. This person 2020, 1 false result, but more than 100 contribution. Let's see from where else that 2008 to 2014 is coming in. So yeah, here it is 2010. That's the reason this has came in. But otherwise, I was trying to see in case if it becomes from here. But a recent change of a GitHub. This is about the README profile where people can add their resume kind of a stuff, something like this. And that's where this person has added 2010, and that's the reason this resume is coming. Sorry, this result is coming. But pure result like this, yeah, here is the person who joined 2013 and with more than 100 contributions. 2013 and with more than 700 contributions. Contribution activity, let's go back. Let's go to directly 2013. Joined GitHub on November 13. This will have to go in a direct GitHub search only. Will not do it here. On a later part, whenever we are doing a GitHub sourcing session, we'll try to see with more powerful filters how to identify the list of people who joined during those years. But for Google search, coming back, this is how we just go and try to see experience folk just by leveraging that because again, this 2008, 2014 are again open-ended. This 100, this 5,000 are again open-ended. So that's reason when we are trying to give this particular number range, 2008 ... 2014, 100 ... 5,000, and that's where we started getting a list of profiles which have who has more than 100 contributions. Here it is pretty straightforward. $100 5,000 and then contributions. Let's say, let's go with 1,000 contribution minimum. So 3 results. So yeah, we have 1,000 plus contributions here. We have 2,000 plus contributions. And here 1,000 plus contributions. So I'll just take a pause. Any doubts or any confusion on what ... is doing here and what site is doing? Site is basically to target any of the website, but wherein in URL is basically to target any of a keyword in the URL, and it could be anywhere in the URL, left side, right side, center, anywhere it could be. In URL, let's say NIT, in URL resume or CV. So like this CV and then NIT like this. So those 2 keywords in URL, NIT in URL resume or CV. Again, we have this. So resume or CV in the URL, and it could be anywhere on the whole URL. When we are searching for a complete whole open web, when we are not really sure which site might really work for the specific location to identify a list of resumes, and that's where we are going and we are using in URL resume or CV, which is pretty much open-ended, and this resume or CV can appear anywhere in the whole URL. But wherein site, when we are sure about what is a URL link, what is a website link. All right. So I'll just take a pause. Any doubts between what site is doing, what ... is doing, how to leverage this ... operator in a number range search, basically. So that's nothing but a number range search is what we can follow. So we have one comment. Shiva again answers. Emoji search also will do, no problem. Okay. So as I mentioned, I'll just take a pause. Any further doubts or anything? Now let's say site linkedin.com/in URL Windows plus dot . Let's take Ninja.
So Shiv, how did you type the emoji?
On my laptop, Windows plus dot.
Plus
Dot.
dot. Okay.
Windows plus dot.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, in URL or in URL or in URL or maybe some hackers can give like that kind of a stuff. Side line KED linkedin.com. Okay, this is the mistake. It's not dot. So yeah, here it is. So now we get some profiles who has mentioned these emojis in their LinkedIn URL, and which is completely again open-ended. In URL, which is completely open-ended, we have just used those emojis. Let's see in case we can find something for diversity in URL. Windows plus dot. One doctor, chef, lawyer, teacher, student, construction worker, female police, woman detective, woman Windows plus dot, woman technologist, woman artist, woman singer, woman with head cuff, astronaut. Wow, supervillain. Dancing woman. Surfing. Okay, this much is more than enough. In URL or no space while using in URL because anyone? No space
Here
while using
emoji,
in.
here emoji itself is like a keyword.
But in
So
URL we are using, but we are not using space on or before or. Why? We are using in URL, but we are not using space on or before or. We covered this in past. Because technically there is no URL which has a space. So now let's say, take this. Site linkedin.com/in URL. So now we'll use one by one.
Thank you. How did you give this pipe operator? I forget this something.
Give me a moment. So it's taking this whole as a keyword from here to here. Let's break it. pipe operator is basically shift plus above the enter, there is standing line and backward slash.
Yes, yes, yes. I got it.
Now we are taking in URL one by one. So yeah, there is something. So in Google, we were not seeing this, but these are some errors here. Once we put it in the doc, it's showing it. Let's see now. Strange. Why? Let's do one by one. Okay, for this we don't have. Woman coder. Let's take woman coder. This we got it. Okay, maybe on LinkedIn we do not have, but it's strange. It should be there. Maybe on LinkedIn we do not have it, but let's see if we have it for mom.
मेथी भाजी गई थी.
We can use cloud otherwise, something like Mhm. This much is enough. So I'm just trying to pick up one small image which I can copy. Otherwise, let's give a search, then we'll get some emojis, then we'll insert. Site linkedin.com/in Salesforce. Windows dot. Let's see if we have anything here. Something to cloud. Okay, fine, excellent. Now we'll get it. Okay, site linkedin.com/in URL cloud. So yeah, now we started getting this. People who would have mentioned cloud in the URL or in URL colon dot. Let's see here what else. Lightning. in URL cloud and in URL lightning. Something like this, in URL cloud and in URL lightning. So yeah, that pretty much about the emojis in the URL, but otherwise, people who would have mentioned are in URL. As I mentioned, in URL pretty much open-ended. That particular emoji, now we can't use an operator site and keep these emojis because site is meant for a particular website link, but wherein in URL is meant for a keyword could be anything. Keyword could be an emoji, keyword could be a word, keyword could be a number, keyword could be anything. Suitcase. Let's see, suitcase. Maybe the sales people will mention. Yes, this suitcase. Maybe they are open for what we say for travel jobs. Majorly from we get it from the sales and the jobs which requires a lot of travel, like consultants and all. All right, so I'll just take a pause. Any further doubts, questions, or anything on the operator in URL versus site, as well dot number range operator? We're good? Bad?
Good shit.
Yeah. All right then. So now let's moving on to, so dot we are clear. Whenever we're trying to search for a number of range, it could be height, it could be weight, it could be price, it could be number, it could be anything. Washing machine. So let's say I wanted something in the range of, okay, let's say 5,000 to 8,000. That's taking a different range. It's not working here, but let's see. Wait a second. No, not this. On Google, how do I leverage this search? So let's say 2.5. So anything between 2 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, anything basically. So number range, whatever the search you're giving in Google, it would take any particular number. let's say site linkedin.com/in 3.3.8 star experience. LinkedIn.com/in title SDE blah 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 Java microservices SQL, and now 3.3.8 star. Now here we are using both the operator number range and fill in the blanks experience, and again in a double quotes. So now we started getting a list of profiles who has mentioned 4+ years of experience, 6 years experience. So now that star here, I just mentioned 3.8 so that it's taking up that numbers between 3.8 who would have mentioned in their profile, even 7.5 plus. So this 7.5 plus YRS, YARS, space YARS, space YRS is completely an open-ended. So in that case, what we have done, we have not done anything. We have just mentioned 3.8 space star, that is fill in the blanks, space experience. And whoever would have mentioned that particular thing in their profile, we're getting those. Like this, like this, like this. Okay, now let's say another use case. Now, are we good on dot and star? Any further doubts? What star is doing, what asterisk is doing, which is nothing but shift +8 on Windows laptop. On Mac, I need to check. I didn't remember. Star is basically fill in the blanks. Wherever it is open-ended, we're adding the star. Dot is basically a number range. And the number range could be any number. Wherever the number range exists, it could be any number. 1 gram to 10 gram, 1 kilo to 10 kilo, 1 feet to 10 feet. It could be anything. 1 year to 2 years. It could be anything. Are we good with these two operators, star and dot? Yes, no, please say something.
Yes, Shiv.
Shiv, can you please repeat one more time the star operator? Just
Star is nothing but fill in the blanks. So something like this. Let's say go to one GitHub profile. So this number is here. Contribution in last 1 year is a constant, but this number is not constant, which is completely open-ended. So in this use case, what we have done, we just took here, this copied this. Let's say here it is. So in this case, we wanted minimum 1,000 to 5,000 contributions. So we got only 3 results, and we seen all the 3 which has minimum 1,000 to 5,000 contributions. Now let's say we want all the profiles, irrespective of the number of their contributions. Site github.com:* space contributions in last 1 year. Now that star is completely open-ended. So whatever the numbers coming in that particular star, it could be 0, it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 10, it could be anything. So this is previous. So here 10 contributions, here 0 contribution, because that is completely open-ended. So in this case also, what we've done is 3 star. So that star, it could be people who would have mentioned years or YRS, it is again open-ended. Whoever would have mentioned in their LinkedIn profile, who has saying that I have got minimum 3 years of experience. So YRS, years can be written YR, YRS, YERS, which are the format. This is for experience. Some people write just EXP. So here we get EXP, 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 EXP. 4 plus YR EXP. So that is completely open-ended. That star is taking up any word which is replacing, which is like a fill in the blanks. And wherein
but
this
there is
dot dot, huh?
Sorry. But there is a gap between star and experience.
Yes, there is a space. This star is fill in the blanks.
Fill in the blanks. Acha, haan. Got it.
So here is a number range. Here is a EXP. Here is a year. This YR can be written anyway. Means there could be 10 different ways of writing these years. Here it is YR. Here it is YR. Here it is years. Here it is 3 plus year. Here YRS. Here YERS. So they might write in a 10 different ways, which is completely open-ended. We don't know how they might write. So in that use cases, what I'm doing, just star, which is nothing but fill in the blanks. It picks up whichever the word is replaced. And dot dot is basically a number range. Does that answer your question, Ashish?
Yes, completely. Thank you.
Yeah, all right then. So Kalavati, Kalpana, Mukesh, Shri, Shubha. Kalavati, is this the first time that you're joining? Even Mukesh, I believe.
No, not Shiva. I'm joining. I already attended 3-4 times.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine then. So any further doubts on colon and dot dot and asterisk?
So far, so good. Everything from my end, at least.
That's it. So now come back to related, which is pretty easy. RELATED. Related. Okay, here it is ready. Related www.capgemini.com. Let's say if you want to come up with a list of competitors or list of relevant companies or list of targeted companies that our hiring team or our clients are looking out. Let's say if we are working in agency and if our client says that target such kind of a companies like Capgemini, TCS, Infosys, but we are not really aware of the huge list. So that time what we do, we just go use operator related dot dot and then give website. So what related colon www.capgemini.com is doing is it's trying to pick up a text from the capgemini.com, whatever the text is existing on capgemini.com. So in the inside industry, services, career, news, it's reading the whole website, and whatever the text is existing on the whole website, it's trying to match a similar text on other websites and trying to give us an output which are the relevant website which has a similar text like a Capgemini, not as it is accurate, but something similar. And that's where we got the list of Cognizant, TCS, Infosys, HCL, L&T, PwC, Boston, Avnade, Pega, all those kind of sites which are into the services. Now let's say Capgemini.com. Instead of Capgemini, I would say Intel. Now, if we go to Intel, then we started getting some server related companies or some chip level companies like IBM, Broadcom, Microsoft, Excelink, Marvell, Analog, Sirius, Micron, McAfee. Let's say McAfee. MCAFW. MCAFW, which is security. So as soon as we search for security company, we started getting Casper, Bytefinder, Zone Alarm, CalmAVNet, Virus Total, cyber security, IBM. IBM is in a lot of stuff. Frontier, RSA, Microsoft is also in the security. So we started getting a list of companies which deals with the security, like Citrix. This operator helped me in real time when I was at Amazon, and I've been asked to do a hiring for Alexa and devices team based out of Chennai. So initially 1-2 months, I terribly failed. Because while I was working in Bangalore, I was trying to target all the application-based companies and the startup kind of companies, which are basically into the cloud and all. But wherein as soon as I shifted to Chennai, not just the location change, but also I had a change in complete domain. Applications to directly the devices, cloud to devices, microservices to devices, like Alexa, Kindle, Fire Stick, and all. So, as I mentioned, initial 1-2 months, I terribly failed. Because I was actually not targeting the right companies, because those are the kind of companies were not existing in a Chennai. Then later on, what I did, I started going with a list of companies which has this chip level companies like Citrix, Casper, or such kind of a stuff. And similarly, some devices company like Samsung, Intel, or those stuff. So by doing so, I got a list of 180 companies which are into either a storage or which are into either a chip or into embedded or into storage or into data or into security kind of a stuff. And that's where I was able to again get back to the performance. If you see here, Citrix, we just got again Akamai, McAfee, Redware, Veeam, IBM, Microsoft. So first I'll scrape this list of 30 websites, and again I'll take one or the other website. Let's say Barkuda. Then again, now I'll take all these websites. Again, I'll go for some other website. So what it's doing is it's basically picking up a text from this particular website, Commvault, and trying to match a similar text on the various websites and trying to show us these are the top 30 companies or top 10 companies which has a similar text on this website. In that way, what we're trying to do, we're trying to identify the list of companies in the same or similar domain. May not be the accurate, but at least similar domain. Let's say Akamai. Redware, Citrix, Rackspace, McAfee, Riverbed. All right. So let me take a pause. Any further doubts or confusion on what related operator is doing? And again, use case of related operator, it has to be in a small letters. It can't be a capital letters like related. In this case, related also will be read as one of a keyword, and also Akamai as a other keyword, but it's not giving us anything related to keyword. So here related hub. So that is case sensitive. It has to be written in a small. That's where we get this. Yeah, so I'll just take a pause. Any further doubts on related? Yes, no, good, bad.
No, Shiv, everything is good.
Kalavati, Shri, Mukesh, Kalpana.
Good, Shiv.
Great. All right. So now let's move on to the next operator for today. That's the fourth operator, which is around. This is magical operator, which is basically a proximity search. Okay, now 3.8 experience is one way of writing, or 3.8 star experience is another way of writing. Okay, so where we get such kind of results. All right. Now, instead of writing in these two different ways, let's say we want to further optimize it, because we know in Google we can use up to 32 keywords. But if we write like this, it might consume a lot of space. So in that case, what we do, just 3.8 around 5 EX experience or EXP. Again, we get the list of results and more number of results. So between this experience and between this 3.8, it's fetching up all those ranges. This is more useful, let's say.
Can you repeat, Shiv?
In this example, you'll understand. Girls or girl or woman or women's. Okay. Around, let's say 5 words. So around 5, because within 5 words. Any one word between this set, girl or girls or women or women's, any one word from that set within 5 words frontward or 5 words backward. We need a words like engineering, college, college, institute, university, school. Okay, site linkedin.com/in, let's say Bangalore. Let's take all these keywords. Okay, in title, site linkedin.com/in Bangalore. Now, any one word from this set, girls or women's, around 5, engineering college or institute or university or school. And then in title SD, that is just from the previous search we picked. Let's take a pause, just give me a second. Let me back. So yeah, now if you see, we have all diversity results. The reason because in the school session on the LinkedIn profile, though that is not highlighting, but let's go and see. Okay, so here education, girls, high is, so what we have done, we have used certain set of words, girl or girls or women or women's, around 5, engineering or college or institute or university or school. So what happened is, whoever has done their schooling from the girls high school or engineering college for women or women in tech or such kind of a stuff in their educational part, those results are coming in. So girls high school, 1 use case. Women entrepreneur quest. Okay, here women institute, we use institute now. So here women, Anita Board Institute for Women and Technology also we can use. So women, one is gender based, and the other are words like institute, engineering, university, technology, college, hostel, people who would have stayed in hostel, PG, women's PG, girls PG, women's hostel, girls hostel, all those similar results. So 1 or 2 such kind of things will come. The reason because they would have done some contribution towards the women empowerment. That's a false positive. Sometimes false positive will come because Google will still remember the old data. But there would be somewhere some contribution towards those stuff. Or maybe it could be an activity also, because it pulls from the whole page of it. But not many, maybe 5% like that you can expect. Not more than that. Now here, yeah, Women's College, Calicut. So let's further down to the more result. Let's go to some of the last pages.
So Shiv, can we use this for pin code also?
If you have a strong use case, yes, you can.
Okay.
So now it started excluding some keywords, but let's see. So these are all with the title of women related. Let me just show you. Best way to check, just click on images and see the results. This will cover in image search, but just quickly to check what results we have it, are all diversity or not. So few non-diversity, as I mentioned, up to 5% you can still expect. Because in the LinkedIn profile, when you visit, that schooling part, attended Bishop Women. So here, two words are there, college, between women and college. So any one word from the set one, which is girl or woman or women's, and any one word from the set two, engineering or college or institute or university or school, it's appearing in and around 5 words. So this, a word from here and a word from here, a word from this set, a word from this set. When we use in between around 5, what it will show is like, it will pick up any one word because it's an OR operator. We're closing with the bracket. So it's taking, Google is taking any one word from this, basically understanding OR operator. Here also Google is understanding of OR operator, and in between around, which is in capital letter, and within bracket, 5 stands for number of keywords between these two keywords, between the girl and colleges, how many words could exist. It could be engineering college for women, anything, it could be like that. And that's where we started getting these profiles. Women Christian Law College, here we have 2 words in between. So it could be college for women also, it can come. It can come before or it can come after. See here, college for women. Earlier it was women's college, then now college for women. Here it was Women Christian Law College. Now here it is college for women. So women's college, straightforward. Now we can also add Mahila Vidya Mandir. Mahila. Kanya. Balika. Balike. Vidya. Patala. Gujarati High School. Anything in local language for school? Women's college. So quickly, if you want to check whether the diversity is coming or not, just click on images. That's it. So what are the results we have here? All results. The same results will be shown in our images. So as I mentioned, a couple of non-diversity could also come because they would have done some contribution towards the women activity. Now let's say It has become too long, I believe. Now it started excluding those keywords. But why only one here? So one non-diversity, couple of non-diversity is also there. As I mentioned, they would have done some contribution for them. So yeah, given at Lakshmi Gayatri, though if she is not from the women-based colleges, but definitely there would be some contribution in her role profile towards women empowerment, like women in technology group or anything such. And so many articles also. So women who code here itself. Girls High School. Because now we added that PG, all those stuff also, women college. Now here is a strong example. College before and in between of engineering for, we have almost 3 words. So we have given 5, so we have almost 3 words. Around 5 we have given, right? In between this, so up to 3 words it's taking. Yeah. Here her whole resume itself is there. Girls high and school is here. So one non-diversity, you're not getting a strong evidence, but they would definitely have contributed for some works related to women empowerment, and that's where we're getting these ones. Or maybe it could come here also. But this possibility is very less. So Indira Gandhi, Women's College, here it is. Women's College. Let tap. Let's see where. Because it speaks from the activity also, if they have liked or they have posted or something like that in past. But yeah, pretty much this also diversity. So yeah, I'll just take a pause. Any doubts or confusion what an operator around is doing here? Let's take some other use cases for an operator around. A girl engineer team invents.
So Shiv, it is words, right? Number of words, whatever we are giving
Yes.
in bracket.
Yes, that around 5 we have given, right? This is number of words in fact.
Okay.
Let's remove this. Let's see only PG or hostel if we get something. So yeah, here girls hostel. Padmini PG for girls. Why this has come? That PG or girls should be somewhere here and there. Though it's a non-diversity, but some activity would have been here in this profile. PG. Maybe previously person would have mentioned. Or some activity. Moving on. Previous. Here it is Secretary Girls Hostel. Yeah. So I'll just take a pause. Any further doubts on what operator around is doing?
Not from my side.
Okay. So let's see. Women around 5 tech or technology, tech or technology or engineering or code coding. College for engineering, women who code. Diversity in workplace. So it's taking some of the synonyms also and started highlighting. IEEE women, women in engineering. But pretty much diversity profiles. They would have done some women tech maker engineering, some activity related to such kind of some projects or some initiatives related to engineering or technology. So women in tech, women who code. Engineering, I think we already gave. We didn't give, but okay, we gave engineering here. Technology, women in engineering. Engineering for women. Women engineering. Engineering and technology for women. One of the best way to identify diversity candidates using an operator around. And up to 98, 99% you'll get diversity. 1 or 2% will still get because they would have mentioned something like that. Non-diversity people would have taken some initiative to help. Like this. Engineering for women. Engineering for women. Yeah. So I'll just take a pause. Any further doubts And if you want to have a quick check, just click on the images. Okay. So any further doubts on operator around? We'll capture the notes in tomorrow's session. While we do the recap, we'll capture the notes in tomorrow's session. Otherwise, pretty much that's it for today about an operator around, about an operator related, about asterisk, about dot dot, number in search. All this we can use in a open-ended. Around also pretty much open-ended. Girls is somewhere, women is somewhere, hostel is somewhere, PG is somewhere, engineering is somewhere, code is somewhere, college is somewhere, hostel is somewhere. How do we leverage an operator around in those open-ended searches? How do we leverage this asterisk in these open-ended searches? How do we leverage this dot dot in these open-ended searches which are actually not defined? We're good? Yes, no. Say something, guys, involved.
Yes, Steve.
Yeah, Kalpana, girls also. Guys means only not only guys, girls also please involve.
Yes. Got
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for today then. Just in case if you have any questions, feel free to ask, or else let's call it for a day today and let's meet tomorrow.
Okay, thank you so much. Shiv.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks everyone. Bye.
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 Yeah. Yeah, Kalpana, you have any doubts or anything?
No.
You're good?
Not as of now. Thanks, Shiv.
No problem. Okay, bye. Kalavati?
Bye.
Let me end. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Bye.